Okay, it looks like everything is working. Hello and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Happy. Last time we found out that, well, this poor soul is dead, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff floating around. The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood. What's the meaning behind it? Bloodlust. I can feel the life draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. Chihiro is dead.
Very strange.
Hey Michael. The more I look, the more strange it all seems. It's not again inside Jack's handiwork. Well, but...
What?
But we're still not sure he did it. Is that what you want to say? I wonder about that. Okay, I've been putting off doing a stream all day today because, I think Pinkamena was supposed to do, his Subscriber Sunday thing today, but I guess not because he rage quit playing Darkness, so I'm doing this. There's a fresh bloodstain on the carpet. It must have been splattered with blood during the murder. There's a dumbbell on the floor, and... This is a bloodstain. There's a bloodstain on the dumbbell. On the tumor files, so the blow to the head of the black object is what killed him. Does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder weapon?
That's right.
I don't imagine it could have been anything else. Locker room dumbbell, advance to the truth bullet section of the handbook. Poster's got some blood on it. It must have happened during the murder. I use this locker room all the time. Now it's become the site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else than carried here. She was very right, that is true. Still think she came here on her own, by choice. What makes you say that? She's been talking a lot lately about how she wanted to get stronger. So you're saying that she came here to exercise? According to the Monokuma file, apparently she was killed around 2 in the morning. Would she really have been exercising that late?
Perhaps.
Hina and myself are usually in the locker room during the day, so she was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. So can we assume she was trying to avoid us? And instead she came to exercise in the middle of the night?
However...
Perhaps, but it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needed support from others. So you're saying she could have left. So you're saying she could have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret, but that she would have also had to have come with someone else. A possibility, I think. She took her time examining Chihiro's corpse. She poked and prodded, going over every inch of the lifeless body. You're a very strange woman, you know, being able to touch a dead body with absolutely no trouble. She seems to be concentrating pretty hard. It's like she can't even hear us. She had a real complex about being weak. I know Chihiro talk about it, right? I need to get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. I haven't really thought about that stuff. The cause of Chihiro's complex. I can't help wondering what it might be. Mondo's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handybook. Now I believe it's time for us to move on. Huh? Already?
What?
New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but...
Let's go.
If you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed. He's so pushy, I got caught up with the wrong person this time. The thing about girls being weak, Well, biologically speaking, yes, but girls can be strong if they train and put a lot of effort into it. So, this is our next location. Huh? Places related to the investigation? Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right? If I remember right, this card reader is meant to work without handbooks, right?
What?
Do you have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with my attorney. He said that, but then quickly and sharply clapped his hands together.
Did you call for me?
You called for... Oh, God. You called for me? Has he been investigated?
That's right.
It seems that Makoto has a question for you.
You need something?
Sure, what's up? Well, it's just about this card reader.
Yep.
Yes, the card readers have all been designed to interface with each of your e-handbooks. You can only enter the locker room corresponding to the gender listed in your individual handbook. And it's impossible for people to go in a row to go through all of those unlocked, correct?
Unbelievable.
If there was some sort of erotic terrorist on the prowl, this silly mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter. And the school regulations prohibit anyone from letting someone else their handbook, correct?
Of course.
Correctly correct. I can't do any of these voices justice. I am going to be so embarrassed when I get around to doing number 2. Oh, God. So then, that means only girls can go to the girls' locker room and only boys can go to the boys' locker room. In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means... Hey, Kodo, I can see right through you. See right through me? Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. When Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
So, in other
As
words,
such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right?
such ignorance.
Good lord, you're simple. Pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer's in front of you the entire time. Reading your e-handbook from other students is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Togami family. So you managed to sneak out the loophole in the regulations. Knowing you, I bet you would have created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things. You're treating me like a petty little appetizer instead of the main course that I am. Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore. They're things.
Yep.
Get it? Get it? Good. Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means that they would have had to loan it, so...
Why you?
Sneaky. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya and get your poop together. Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence. I cannot English. No more questions. Figure out the rest on your own. Yeah, figure out the rest your own damn self.
That's fine.
Well, I know you are unfortunately lacking in mental faculty, so I'll call you in myself. Let's head to the main hall. The main hall? It'll help you understand what's going on. We came to the main hall. So, what are we looking for here? Let me know I have to figure it out for myself. There's a mailbox here. Could there be something inside? It's an e-handbook. No, wait, there's 3 of them, but what are they doing here? So, you finally found them. Huh? Did you know these were here, Byakuya? I happened to find them by chance myself the other day. It seems that there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. So then, these 3 handbooks belong to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka. You can go ahead and confirm it yourself. I immediately turned on one of the handbooks, and when I did... You're right, this is Sayaka's handbook. Now do you understand? This is the key to the loophole that I revealed earlier. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it. You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of that flashback bucket. I can't be bothered voicing flashbacks. I see. Yeah, now I understand.
What?
Hold on a second. What's wrong?
Very strange.
That's strange. One of the handbooks won't turn on. Is it broken? Who is it? The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started it up. And the other one won't turn on. Must be Leon's, right?
I see.
It would make sense, yes. After all, he did get pummeled with dozens and dozens of baseballs. Pummeled with baseballs. The memory of it came flooding back. That cruel punishment which led to Leon's death. The execution that the mastermind concocted. A cruel, heartless death. You're right, it wouldn't be surprising for the handbook to break during that kind of assault.
Damn it!
Hey, hey! Hey, 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 hey!
Now
What? That handbook is essential for shooting Blackbeard. Crucial, integral, instrumental, a big deal. There's no way it would break that easily. But if it did,
That's impossible!
if I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't freaking break. It can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure and it won't trip up to 100 meters, okay? I don't care how many baseballs you hit it with, it wouldn't do crap. Oh, but, even the amazing handbook does have one single weakness. It does?
I can't hear you!
It's a secret. I wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks.
What?
Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing what its weakness was, right? Hard to say. You know what I think? I think this handbook isn't actually broken.
What?
But you might ask, how could that be? Leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared. What just happened? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's an undeniable fact that it's not turning on.
That's fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now. You think so? Either way, something about it still bothers me. Okay then, this should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track down the true culprit. Yeah, we need to find out who killed Chihiro. To be exact, not quite. Huh? Not quite? Hold on, there's still more here waiting to be checked. Yeah. What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite. Certainly I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely, I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack. Then, you truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Absolutely, I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case. The murderous fiend is Genocide Jack, right?
What?
There's nobody else it could be. The murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. Like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to him. And what do you think of the internet gives this mysterious serial killer? Genocide Jack. They say he's killed thousands of Billy B. demented psychotic killer like that? You're not wrong to wonder. But where'd you live right now? I have something that would prove it and I can show you. Yes, I know. That's why I'm kind of... you spoiled it. God damn it. That's the fun part about this trial. What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite. Certainly, I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely. I want to discover the identity and the thing.
Don't make me repeat myself.
And I have a basis to believe that, I assure you. Genocide Jack is one of us. Is there really proof? There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will provide all the evidence you need. Also, no spoilers, please.
It's all clear now.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro. Evidence something like that, really? Hey, you two! Big trouble, need your help.
I don't have time to play
We're
with
busy,
you.
leave us alone. But it's an emergency! Emergency! Come on, please, you gotta help me. Please! This is a serious emergency. Please, you gotta help me. Just calm down, okay? But it's an emergency. An emergency? What happened? Well, something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. She was acting pretty strange earlier, right? What should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit I'm intrigued. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. Are you sure?
Don't make me repeat myself.
I didn't expect that. I thought for sure you just said no and that'd be the end of it.
Yeah!
Okay, come on, hurry. Wait for us, Hina.
Let's go.
Looks like she's headed to the dorm, to Toko's room, most likely. You're right. Is Toko inside? Some kind of emergency? Thank you for the spoiler, Michael! Oh my god. You guys are too slow. I think you're just too fast. So, what's this emergency? Oh, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, you know? See how she was doing, but when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out. She kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
Try talking to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. Okay. I may as well give it a shot. The door swung open, slowly and silently. Holy crap! An aura of negativity flowed out from behind this door, forcing a gasp out of me.
What? Oh, nothing. It's just that Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But could you open up just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
Won't let Genocide Jack have control.
And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. Okay, so, yeah, it is strongly hinted at that Toko is Genocide Jack. Oh, what was that? She's been acting like that the whole time, and I ran a little while ago. Oh, drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend. It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her alone in there, so I tried to bust down her door. But I felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it. Toko was scared enough to even bar her door? She think the same thing as Byakuya? She thinks that serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko's so scared?
But
Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Byakuya, talk to her, damn it. Hey, Byakuya, you think you could ask her? Come out of her room, I mean.
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. Huh? You gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Well, I guess you can be nice when you want to. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments...
what do you want?
Leave me alone, you're all so annoying. Bacula!
It's Byakuya.
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off. There's nothing else we can do. Let's just go back to the investigation. Hold on. Hey, Byakuya, what was Toko talking about just now? Something about a promise?
What?
Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
What he said. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya? And I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking towards his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to the stop in front of a certain room. The library? Come on, let's go in. other side of this door. It's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Oh, here?
Let's go.
It won't make sense once you're inside. It will make sense once you're inside. Oh, so many books and files. And so much dust, too.
So in other words,
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. It's not a big file stuff on the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking for any of these files, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of things any normal person wouldn't ever want to look at. Be careful. Oh, what do you mean? All these files are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents and police eyes on it, and not the kind of thing. The shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I could point out at random. Ah, you have a sharp eye indeed to sort that file. Huh?
that's right.
That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original was kept at the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling what crosshairs you might end up in for peeking at it. Without making a sound, I return the file to the shelf. There's a wooden box. It's empty. Although judging by the smudges in the dust, looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it was. There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? Okay. If you pay attention to your surroundings, you'll soon discover that value for yourself. Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the thing I saw the up here using in the library before.
What?
You have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. There's so many file stuff under the shelf. What's in all these things?
That's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truths for a comic. You mean like members of the Guard or something? No. I mean the ones with real power. Secret council controlling everything from the shadow. If you're ready to be disappointed for it, take a look. There are some... If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? Oh, just let it go. So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I'm interested in this library is because of this room right here. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie. Well, it's not that. It's just... It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but... I mean, that's just so much. How can anyone have put all this together? I suppose it goes to show just how much power hopes people to wield. Or perhaps, the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this, it's just too unreal. What's wrong, you still can't believe it? What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like this are usually impossible.
What?
What do you mean, usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple? These things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? What makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there is no doubt. Hold on a second, you're saying you read all these documents? More than once? But those have to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why... My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Huh? Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents.
So, in other words...
I already told you there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world, backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can claim without a doubt that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. The Archaea is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most was the cold case of police investigation reports. Reading through those reports is always a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. Among all those reports, one of my most recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, the Archaea grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack case has been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics of every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic, that at every crime scene the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second, is that the number of victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Unless it's written in blood, the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save us of pride, the best part is yet to come. For the second characteristics, when the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victims. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. And in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So, in other words...
The culprit isn't a copycat killer. It's the real Genocide Jack.
In other words...
That's right. There is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Then, Genocide Jack really is... Such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking around among us?
Interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees in bed, I might even show you myself. There's a wooden box, it's empty, like judging by the plug, extension cord.
Fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hand stopped. I had reached the page with photos from the scenes of each crime that had been collected. The names of Genocide Jack victims ran on several pages. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Komatsu Nataro, Takefumi Gono. Uchida Nagisa. Takeyoshi Masamune. Muto Yumejima. There's no end to it. Nothing that became publicly clear is important. All of the killers countless victims were killed and suspended exactly the same way. At the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust is left in the victim's own blood. Now take a look at the next page. Profiling results. all of the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killing to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, and when they did leave, they left. As an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely that there was any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
So, in other words,
The key point here is the culprit may well have a split personality. A split personality? Like the kind of thing you see on TV? I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up to now. Well, maybe it really isn't, I don't know. I feel like my mind is going numb.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Huh? Where are we going? Anyway, but here, we're finished with our business here, haven't we? Oh, wait, Byakuya! God damn it. As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Huh? Just all of a sudden like that?
I don't have time to play with
Come on,
you.
enough of your annoying misapprehension. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join him, he cut it off. In the end, I felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack, he's the one who killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out, no matter what it takes. And to do that, somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene. The girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. And the others might have come up with some useful, with some kind of info I might find useful in all that. I need to find out everything I can. Has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if...
Another stat increase for me. Evidence, what'd you find? I cannot reveal that just yet. But I guarantee that what I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Are you sure about that? Oh yeah, Mr. Berg said she witnessed something worthwhile too. Really, what'd you see? I guess you tell me it's kind of like a girl boy she likes, right? Right? Okay, so where's Celeste now? The way out by the door, she was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be? Wait a minute, hey, go check this out. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Huh? This poster. It's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. This bloodstained poster. Well, that's the most noteworthy part, but the big busted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. A girl looking seems like the kind of place you find something like this. Oh, but wait, that reminds me, the poster in the other locker room is... That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room is a poster of a couple of boy bands. In the girls' locker room is a poster of a big busted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe we should look somewhere a little more about the locker room. You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Saki?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay, then let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid attention to the posters. I see.
However,
There is something that's been bothering me about the locker rooms. You see, I like to get a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. Do you have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. It's protein powder with coffee and then down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room and I left a stain. A stain? But I don't think you stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly, I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? If there was never a stain here to begin with. There's nothing on the carpet. There's a bit of floor, in the bottom. I can feel the left in my body, damn it, no. The word ball lost written on the wall in blood, just like my other genocide Jack cases. I never corrected the word ball lost written in blood. Hey, Kyoko, have you made any progress on your investigation? Generally speaking.
However,
I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder.
so then,
Before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time. Thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. I guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing? That's definitely worth worrying about. Chihiro's handbook has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. I'll better give it a shot anyways. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was either popped out in the kind of this rope has a plug? Wait, so then this isn't a rope at all. The more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that's insane. Chihiro's fatal injury was a blow to the head. He was someone struck him in the head in order to kill him. That's right, he issued had been suspended in the fatal blow. At first, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. The thing began after looking at the inside Jack, something's not quite right. What does this thing mean? Well, the one thing most likely to hold the mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that we used to find Chihiro. And blah blah blah. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. There's absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well, I will tell you and only.
Actually,
Last night I saw her here. She was in the warehouse. What, really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
I apologize, Celeste fans. I cannot do a French accent, so...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know? Going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes,
I
indeed.
assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but It would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, went to the girls' locker room mode at night to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there's no traces of trap jacket or duffel bags left that she said to be okay. Which means the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Okay. Apparently I gotta go to the dining room. Oh, Nina, how's Tigger doing? Same as before. She won't come out. She just keeps mumbling something. And keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimming and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah!
Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna get back there as soon as I'm done eating. Tigger's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of, what are you eating? A donut, of course. Of course. There's two things I'm sure God created, outer space and donut. Really? I bet your hero would have liked eating my donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. I should have tried to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well...
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. She didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like, she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even... Hello! Dorky Rabbit, welcome to the stream on the channel. She said that even though you and her invited her to exercise with you, she always refused. Also, if you're new to watching the Danganronpa series and have already played the games, no spoilers please!
Yeah, totally.
Yep, it's true, and it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just shy? I don't know, she talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite sex? Oh, wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. They always said you can't judge a book by its cover, right? Yay, thank you for understanding, Goki. You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Okay. Big first floor, pizza floor. Now, even though I've already beaten the games, I do want to treat this as though I'm having people who've never played the games before watch my stream, as I do with all the games I play. Huh? The lamp line's on. Oh, I see, it's not plugged in. The lamp's causing long enough to reach the outlet from here. But last time I saw it, it was definitely on. It was definitely right here. Oh, that's right, Byakuya was using an extension cord. There's no extension cord here now. I wonder if... Also, the Danganronpa series will probably be the only games where I will be doing a bunch of voice acting, if you want to call it that. Oh shit, you having trouble hearing me? Okay, hold on. I could have sworn the fucking thing saved my settings. There we go, is that better? I apologize, I didn't realize the music was that loud. The wooden box is empty, the extension cord was in there before. Okay, so I don't think there's anything here. More? Really? According to this letter, Hope Academy has stopped functioning as a school, and what's more, it didn't even happen recently, it had to close down over a year ago. The mastermind probably took over the abandoned school to start the killing game, which explains why there aren't any other students here because it's not a real school. And there's a serious issue, school will be closed down. Mastermind's motive, if we can figure that out. There's a thick layer of dust on top of the desk. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. Guess not. The shelf is packed tight with books. Looking at it, maybe there's some kind of clue here. Guess not. And apparently I got a coin for that. Shelf packed tight with books. Guess not. The desk lamp. Byakuya had grabbed that one thing from over here and put it over there. It sure is dark over there. I want to take another look at the Genocide Jack's case file. Anyway, what was that? Huh? It's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? The only one who would do something like that. I can't think of anyone but Byakuya. Ooh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we'll be able to do the class trial this stream as well.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to... Please go through the...
Red door on the first floor. Yeah, shut up, Monokuma. It's about to begin. Also, fun fact, I am playing this on normal mode, so this game is going to be more difficult for me than it was when I originally played it, because I played it on easy the first time round. Ahem, so is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Togo's not here. Huh? And Togo is... You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie. I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible. I can't really do this to her, so, apologies. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle on to the elevator, let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Oh, wow, people actually like the shitty voice acting I'm doing? I mean, bloody hell, I'm a 25-year-old chick from Australia who can't really do bugger all when it comes to voices. Even though I'm like living in New Zealand now, but meh, fuck it. So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek, nobody had any problems with her. Someone made their choice to kill a girl like that. I mean, I probably would do a voice actor as long as you have like a friggin' Australian character, because I can't do accents to save my life. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked towards the elevator with shaking legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. As we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation, until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with. Good. You're raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
thrills,
Everyone,
chills,
please find your
thrills.
assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly dilemma, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Sakura is a girl. She's just really, really buff.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Well, this will be fun. I can't change the difficulty mid-game. So, if I screw up, then I am going to fucking screw up badly.
Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Okay, just making sure I can actually do
It
the
appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Oh, god damn it, I picked the wrong one. Crap.
Chihiro's fate, it appears it would...
According to the Monokuma file, the killer, what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe. No, that's wrong.
can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yes! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added. Oh god. If you're going to refer to characters, I'm more familiar with them by referring to them by their first names. So, apologies if I start getting confused when you refer to someone and that you use their last name. So, just letting everyone know. So, yeah. Absolutely, what is this? Oh god. Truth will disappear if they hit those white lines. There's obstacles in you. There's a way to keep the white noise. Press the X button to attach a silencer. However, oh god. Shit.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, it's wrong.
See, I apologize if fans of the Japanese game or listen to the Japanese voice
Might
acting
know
and stuff
one reason he could be involved.
are annoyed with me, because I do know that in terms of pronouncing a name in Japanese, it's last name first, first name afterwards. But when you have to dub like anime and games and stuff like this, they switch it around so it makes sense in English.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
Which made it so weird when I watched the Danganronpa 3 anime and everyone kept referring to each other by their last names. And I'm like, man, I can deal with it, I understand the reasoning.
I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for
Yes,
now.
PS4, I know my internet is shit. Please stop reminding me.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic. And it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie! What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Also, to anyone new to this, I will be doing the bonus school mode after I've beaten the main story. But what I'll be doing for that is, I'll be grinding school mode offline to get everyone up to max level so I can just breeze through it all in one go and get ending after ending after ending. Okay? Probably, I don't know. I'll figure out the specifics of school mode after I beat the main game. It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Yes, I know. Oh god, Hangman's Gambit.
Now I understand! Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have... what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. What was that, a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The walls are front to the back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Okay, I'm not gonna bother voicing the flashback anymore.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a vacuum. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
this is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Oh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
You say that.
Perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi!
When you compare your past, the modus operandi matches.
No, it's wrong! Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. Here's the clear difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
But you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. And told you that all the other victims were stabbed with their hands. Here you'll see...
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There's a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victim, which a human didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all... guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! And the mopey side of me just hates it! But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong, you can't pen, you gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. The rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah! That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on, there is one person. One person who could have covered the Genocide Jack cases. Say it with me, everyone. Byakuya!
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible found out, isn't it?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then,
oh shit. FIU network error. Okay. Hopefully this wouldn't work.
Because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
You can make it clear to everyone. Okay. Next we're going to add truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot, memorize that weak spot.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
No, I have not. I don't really play
Presented
computer
with the
stuff.
opportunity to check out the girls' locker room.
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me with you?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro.
No, he's wrong!
So yeah, unfortunately,
I'll tell you what's so strange about that.
everything I stream on my channel is streamed directly from my PS4, as I do not have the equipment nor the money to stream on my PC. So, alas, no, I have not played Yandere Simulator, and yeah.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
It's like he didn't even care, but probably acting like...
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Have you seen this case in the other Genocide Jack murders?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the bodies.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain? I want to kill, and I use those things. But Chihiro, it was some kind of... That's right. Then there must be something very...
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my...
No, it's wrong!
Hi, Daddy, welcome to the stream.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Sure. Do we really need to? You've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Well, that just now something else. Chihiro's body was definitely found, but does that mean... no, I don't think so, off what he said.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so competent up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Something that was switched.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is... the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, That doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not the stain. Not the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
Oh. Did I just get a new subscriber? Or do you mean other people in the chat?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Okay then. Well, if that's the case, thanks for the subscribe.
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device that Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way! And I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro have really got into the boys' locker room somehow?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong!
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one.
One moment, everybody.
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Okay, Okay, I is back. I'm back. Okay. Okay.
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts glaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya was the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the... You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What? What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands? No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting their hands together in a blatant prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is...
Is what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So, she is actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact. What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then, it's really true?
Chihiro was... a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, the world's really on fire! I wish I had
That's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
Yes, I get it. Chihiro is really good.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. I thought it never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth.
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
You're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility, because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
If Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's only one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means... I got it! Since the crime scene was in the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough, I need to find more clues.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Damn it. Shoot! Okay, I messed up on that one.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but... Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Damn it. Really? Shoot! Okay.
Isn't there a single clue?
Did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the... Perhaps someone saw the victim. Yeah.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah! No! Not game over!
Okay, I could do that.
Isn't there a single clue?
Did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the... Perhaps someone saw the victim. Yeah.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer.
No, it's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
Track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry, but why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, Did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket? The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
So Chihiro's track jacket really holds some clue about the killer. Somehow, this is where I stuffed up a lot on my original playthrough.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue...
No, that's wrong!
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said... She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Okay, hug me, everyone, and take a quick toilet break. Y'all big. Okay, I'm back.
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hand.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony, when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Did you notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No. I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall for all your confidence. That is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How, precisely, did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks break? Possibility.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna...
Yes, no shit, heat will fry electronics.
then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was... Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't think you believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, it's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yes? But Doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch!
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning. That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Holy shit. I have never actually stayed up on this before.
Here's exactly what happened. With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker. But how could the victim? Simple. Because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killers did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna, and the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook, and that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
Can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo's killer got away with it so early in the trial. I can somehow show him Mondo's handbook is right. Once I do that, everything will become clear. Elements.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it! If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that!
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for! Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What?
Uh-oh, this time it looks like you guys got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Owada!
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way you would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually,
the story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can just press the circle button to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He heard things like that for as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide it and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak. Weak. Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secrets, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro was actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that were revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack and the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I also don't want to leave things the way they are. So maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong. Then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone... With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret.
uh-huh.
Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. Oh, I believe that's supposed to say Monokuma and not Chihiro, but meh. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro.
But...
how does moving the body keep his secret?
Because...
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, and everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so... He tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because no matter what I did, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something you didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong!
It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standards is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, the secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraffs across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo even got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, had grown to the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All it'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time, No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes, I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mundo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team, you and me, put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger, under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mundo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
I'm strong.
Yeah.
Strong. And yet... as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. But then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mundo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had wanted to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why... Mundo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness. It just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before.
I
didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety, way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I write myself up in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I've been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're just saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? You trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey.
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his and turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, say that again. I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but... Unfortunately, I can't do that right now. Because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? If Black that disturbs the peace, will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Mundo Iwata, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Cage of Death. Mondo just got turned into butter. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again that of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. But Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that...
However...
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. Your voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule, too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please, continue. The night grew late, and I decided to return to my rooms when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool, he didn't have the slightest clue that I'd seen him.
Well...
So, you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed, but if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. We did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toka, you decided to use that. To create the fake murder scene?
But
damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Yakia turned him between the eye. I could feel his sharp gaze piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become Black Ink, I now know what I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, begin listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next?
You
like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean?
What the heck?
Mean. Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victim. And everything will be revealed to me. The noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me? I think this is the start of a terrifying relationship. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship. Shut up, I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up!
Ooh, so cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mouth for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper, sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom and the curtains closed in the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue. Because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? 16th High School shooting time.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Chapter 2, Boy's Life of Despair. The end. You received the Crazy Diamond present. Right, oh shit, over 2 hours and a half. Okay, I'm going to end the stream here. And I hope you enjoy, okay? Well, I hope you enjoyed and see you next time. Bye.